Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm welcome to Speak. Welcome to Speak. Welcome to Speak. I'm 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 who you with, Kirk, dog. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm who you with, Kirk, dog. Man, I finally been able to get on. Don't you just hate when computers decide to do updates when you're trying to do some things? I've been dealing with this update for over an hour now, but we're on. What's this, Monday? Happy Monday to everyone. Hopefully everybody's having a great day today. Want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, uh, Twitter. D Live is always in the house. Twitch is also in the house. You can live chat with us in the chat room. Um, we're going to keep the conversation going from last night, and then we're going to add a couple of more to it. Last night we discussed the killing of unarmed black men. And just before I came on, shout out to Miss Risky, sent me a story about while I was waiting for the update. He sent me a story about Elizabeth City, North Carolina, declared state of emergency. Before the body cam footage is showed. Now the attorney for the family actually said that was the execution. Here it is. If your officer did nothing wrong, why do you have to declare a state of emergency? Which is crazy. According to some people that actually seen it, they actually said that his hands was on the car wheels before the North Carolina deputy shot and killed him. Talking about Andre Brown Jr., the brother that was shot last week in North Carolina, Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Um, the family of a North Carolina man shot and killed by sheriff deputies said Monday that there was shown just 20 seconds of body cam video that appeared to show the man put his hands on the steering wheel of his car before he was killed. Loved ones of Andrew Brown Jr., 42, is expected to be shown the body cam video just before noon Monday, but the viewing was pushed back several hours because of ready action sought by the county attorney, family attorney said. But even in 20 seconds of video, Brown loved one said it was clear that he wasn't a threat to law enforcement. It shouldn't have been gone down. My dad got executed just trying to save his own life. Son Khalil Freebie told reporters outside the sheriff office, it ain't right. It ain't right at all. Um, Family attorney Chantel Cherry Lassiter said the video showed Brown in his vehicles and it was blocked in the driveway in Elizabeth City by law enforcement, making an escape impossible. NBC News hasn't seen the video. Andrew had his hands on the steering wheel. He was not reaching for anything, he wasn't touching anything, she said. He had his hands firmly on the steering wheel. They run up to his vehicle shooting. He still stood there, sat there in his vehicle with his hands on the steering wheel while being shot at. When asked whether Brown was shot in the back, Attorney Harry Daniel told the Associated Press, yes, back of the head, in the back of the head. The family conceded that Brown didn't try to drive away, but said he was fired up on before he tried to escape. Shell casings were flying in the video before his vehicle moved. His car was riddled with bullets, shooting him when he was not threatening them in any form or fashion. She said there were shells casing before he even backed out. So they were shooting at him when he was sitting in there with his hands on the steering wheel in the driveway. Pasco County Sheriff Tommy S. Wooten, in a video statement later Monday, characterized the incident as quick and said that outside investigators are interviewing witnesses and gathering more information. This tragic incident was quick and over in less than 30 seconds, and body cameras are shaky and sometimes hard to decipher. Wooden said they only tell part of the story. Now, in the delay, angered Brown family, especially in light of a search warrant affidavit detailing allegation against him and justifying why deputies sought to arrest him. They released the warrant saying all kind of things about Andrew Brown, but they wanted redirection and wanted a redirection, and it was the face of the police officer that killed Andrew Brown and Benjamin Crump, attorney representing the family. So yeah, it's um it's not looking good. Um, and welcome to the show, Robin. I know the computer finally got it updated, so I've been filming all day, day waiting, just waiting for this show. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, this is a sad situation dealing with Andrew Brown. 20 seconds. You mean to tell me only 20 seconds of video of them gunning this man down? That's all they had, just 20 seconds, nothing more. And it's just a matter of time. And when the video is released, because they're expecting an outrage, if what the family is saying is true about the fact that his hands was firmly on the steering wheel and they came out shooting and shot him in the back of the head, that's not good. That's not good at all. So right now, I don't know what to expect. I want to see the video. Uh, I'm sure you mean all the cops out there only 20 seconds of video or 30 seconds of video that was shown, 20 to the family. That's not good. Exactly. It is. And according to the attorney, the cop's life was not threatened. Their life wasn't threatened at all. So because their life wasn't threatened, what's the purpose of shooting them? It don't make sense to me. It don't make sense at all. But some people will have a problem with it. Some people say, well, he should have followed a order. He probably was getting ready to go somewhere and they ran up on him. But because he was sitting in the car, like the attorney said, they just came out shooting. And the problem is, they come out shooting this brother instead of trying to take him into custody. If the car didn't move, it wasn't a threat. It wasn't a threat at all. But here it is, another brother dead by the police. Another brother dead by the police. And people suppose want us to pretend like this didn't happen. It did happen. It definitely happened. So hopefully once this video is released, the truth will come out. I'm not saying that the family and the attorney not saying what is true. They know exactly what they're saying. But for the city to or North Carolina to order a state of emergency, they know something not right. I agree with you, Robin. Shoot the tires. Use one of the police cars to block the car. Get a negotiator to talk him out of the car. Like, come on. I don't even think that was an option because, according to the story I just read, they came out shooting. They came out shooting. So, regardless of what would have happened, he could have been standing outside the car and he probably still would have been shot. If everything that they're saying in the video, in that 20-second video, if all of that is true, it's not looking good for those troopers. Now, I did see yesterday, I believe 7 of them was put on administrative leave. Now, here's the key to it. You mean to tell me the whole time they was there, you only got 30 seconds of footage? 30 seconds of footage. The whole time you was there. So you mean right after the shooting, y'all cut your cameras off? Sound like to me they had something to hide. Robin said Ben Crump isn't gonna come out and twist come out and twist the truth. He saw the video. I believe what they're saying is exactly what happened. And I agree he was a dead man no matter what. Yeah, I trust Ben Crump because he's on these things. But to investigate a shooting, there's absolutely no way you just receive 30 seconds of video with all those officers out there. That's why a police review board is good to have to prevent these things. Because I've always felt like when the police department don't release video footage right away, they're editing it, taking things out because they don't want exactly what happened or what was said on it to come out. Yeah, I agree with you. No way no way they only have 30 seconds of footage. Absolutely no way. I agree with you. It don't make sense to me. It will be very hard to try to understand that one. But it will be it don't make sense. It definitely don't make sense. Um that's kind of like Miss Risky sent me several videos today. One of it was somewhere else. I don't think it was in the States. I don't know exactly where it was. But a white guy had a knife going after the police. They did everything to keep from shooting that man. Even though he was charging them, charging other people trying to get in cars, they did everything to keep from shooting that man. And finally, an unmarked police car come up and they telling him to hit him with the car instead of using deadly force. But once again, when it come down to black people, they don't care about that. They don't care about it at all. When it come down to black people, first thing they do, they shoot, ask question later. They deal with the aftermath. Robin said that's the damn thing. White guys shoot a cop, even kills a cop, and they get their day in court most of the time. Probably not even most of the time, probably 10 to 20% of the time. A lot of them don't even go past the grand jury if it get to the grand jury. They so quick to call it justified instead of calling it what it is. All these folks, all these guys go around and do these mass shooting, taking with either no injury or very a little injury. But they don't think nothing wrong with it. They think we don't see what's happening. That's why it's so many white cops killing unarmed black folks. We don't hear about too many black cops killing um, unarmed people. So, what type of training did the black guys get, the black officer get compared to the white officer? They should have received the same training. Welcome to the show, TCal. Um, Hate that I'm late, but here, what's going on? I just made it home ready to catch up. Oh, we just got started 20 minutes ago, talking about Andrew Brown, who was the video. The family seen the video. They only seen 20 seconds of it, and the video itself is only 30 seconds. And they're saying in that 20-second clip, they Andrew Brown Jr. had his hand firmly on the steering wheel, wasn't moving the car. Cops came out shooting. and he was actually shot in the back of the head. So that's what we dealing with tonight. Um, Robin said, I saw a girl argue Blue Lives Matter today and talked about BLM. I'm like, first of all, hold on, let me get Robin voice. First of all, when you have seen a blue person, next, you could take your uniform off. Police are not oppressed, and they have a police union backing them, right or wrong, to the point. Yeah, they do have a police union backing them, regardless if that officer is right or wrong. And I was talking to my wife this morning, and I mentioned this a couple of days on the show, where the police union president here in Dallas, he actually, I finally agreed with something he said. And then I wonder, is it because it's a new chief? Because we do have a new Hispanic police chief here in Dallas. Before we had a sister as the police chief, and everything she did, he criticized. But now that it's a Hispanic police chief here in Dallas, make you wonder if that's why he's supporting them now. He's thinking right now. I don't know. Um, Welcome to the show, Michael. Um, did you have a live episode this afternoon? Because I saw a window when I was on YouTube, but I didn't click. Actually, that was a repeat from my last night's show. That was a replay of it, and I did not do a live show. Normally, if I do a live show outside of the regular time, uh, I would announce it beforehand. All right, to say special show or something in the title. Um, but I did not do a live show today. It was a replay. Um, TCal said, wait a minute, what? Say that again. What happened? What are y'all talking about? Andrew Young is I said Andrew Young, Andrew Brown Jr. is the brother that was killed last week by Elizabeth City, North Carolina uh, troopers, North Carolina troopers. They was therefore warned, and as they got there, it appears that Andrew Brown Jr. was sitting in a car when the troopers ran up, had his hands firmly on the steering wheel. And according to the attorney and the family, they came out shooting, approaching the car. Andrew Brown Jr. did not um, move the car. And I guess what happened once he was shot, then the car started moving. And they shot him in the back of the head, execution style. So that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with tonight. When on the job police are being oppressed. Um, yeah, it is a sad situation, T Cal. It is. Um, it's crazy how they do black folk. And I think at this point, sometime when the police are so, as Michael say, oppressed, um, it's the bad ones that make it worse for the good ones. Because just like how the police um, are treating black and brown folks, they don't know who good or bad. But just like when the public have to deal with a policeman, they don't know who's good or bad. So it make it hard for everyone. And that's what we don't need. We don't need it to be hard for everyone. Yeah, with his hand on the steering wheel, no weapon so far. I kind of felt like when they put all seven of them on a paid vacation, I felt like it was just one of those things where it was going to come out something not right about the situation. Well, according to the family, the story I read, they said he was not trying to flee. He probably just got in the car, sitting there with his hand on the steering wheel, getting ready to pull out. And you see all these folks running to you with their guns drawn. You're gonna freeze. You're gonna be like, "What's going on?" Um, so that's he probably was shocked, trying to figure out what's going on. And they said in the video, he did not move. He did not reach for anything. In that 20 seconds, you can see all of that. In 20 seconds. Micah said, paid vacation. The fuck? That's supposed to be a award. Well, because as soon as what they do when stuff like this happen, they put officers on administrative leave, and that could take some time. And that could take a long time before they get finished investigating it. Robin said, listen, if you're a good cop, stop protecting the bad ones. People can't tell who is who, and it's terrifying. Day after day, we see cops doing crazy stuff. People are afraid. Yes, people are afraid. It's crazy. T-Cal said, yeah, I had some cop follow me home tonight. I passed by some $1 million homes, and I felt that if I had turned into them, lights would have came on. Can't drive while you black. Um, that makes sense. Second, I'm sure he was afraid. That's so sad. That would mean seven people shot him. Um, Michael said, my sister saw a cop hiding behind a bush. Didn't believe her, but she was adamant. I see them all the time here in Dallas when they doing speed traps. They do it all the time. When I drove trucks, they used to do it all the time. And it was crazy the way they would hide up in the bushes. And matter of fact, it's a little town up in Oklahoma, and coming off the toll up there. They had billboards up telling you it's a speed trap. Drive the speed limit. You would get pulled over. And sure enough, you go 2 miles over, you got pulled over. So yeah. Um, no, that's fine, Robin. I understand. It makes me sick because when I read the story, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. They shot this man in the head, in the back of the head. Now the family could see all of this in 20 seconds. A 20-second video. Then shortly before they move the viewing back, and they order a state of emergency beforehand. That tells you a lot right there. 20 seconds. That's all he was worth, 20 seconds. So that means right after the shooting, they cut their videos off. But these are also the same people that's supposed to protect and serve. They took an oath to protect and serve. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all cops are bad, but it's the bad ones that make all cops look bad. I know a lot of good cops. I have family and friends that are in law enforcement, and this is terrible. I saw this morning. I shut the TV off from one outside. I was just so upset. Like, damn it, enough. It's fucking enough. I feel you. I understand. It's terrible the way they do that. And the sad part about it, when the attorney asked about the warrant, why they even went after him, they had a whole list of things, the reason why they target him. Had a whole list of things why they target him. But I'm just like, hey, another black man gone. Now they could have came up, arrested him. He could have went to jail. Could have had his day in court, and went from there. But that wasn't an option to them. And because there's something else you have to pay attention to, because they are state troopers, they have a little bit more training than a regular police officer. Um, so they have to be ready for all situations. And they're held at a, well, I say they held at a higher standard, but a lot of time they decision maker is at a higher standard um, than what most people would expect. And a lot of time it's hard to find them guilty. But I know one thing: North Carolina have to do what's right in this case. They have to. They don't have a choice on that. Robin said a whole list, okay, but none of those things are punishable by instant execution. It doesn't. It don't make a difference. See, the thing is, when you're dealing with a police shooting, first thing they do is pull up the person background. They drag it through the mud, and as they drag it through the mud, and they try to trial him in the media by talking about his background. That's why so many folks that agree that um, the background should play a part in the decision that happened. If they not doing the crime right then, the background shouldn't have anything to do with it. It was some people came on here a couple of weeks ago talking about George Floyd and his background, but they was giving out wrong information, because even with George Floyd, uh, they brought up the fact talking about where he held the gun to a pregnant woman and all of this, and robbed or whatever. And I said, no, where are you getting that information from? That's what they talk about in the media. So you didn't hear the part where Houston police said they had been trying to contact George Floyd to let him know he was clear of that crime. Well, why did it take them so long to come out with it? Well, you hear George Floyd, you don't know what's what. But then when you start hearing a little bit more and you put the pictures together, this the person we've been looking for, to let him know he was cleared of those crimes. So they didn't want to hear none of that. They want to hear none of it. They only want to hear what they want to hear when it's dealing with black folks. When it's dealing with black folks, they're going to do everything they can to make a black person look bad. And that's a problem. That's a problem within itself because people want to always make the victim look bad. Now, if he was trying to run him over, that's one thing. If he was shooting at him, that's another thing. But you come out blasting your guns. You come out shooting. That's not good. That's not good at all. So I'm gonna be paying attention to this a little bit longer because it's not good. It's definitely some cover up going on. You mean to tell me between all those officers, all their body cam went off in 30 seconds? All of them went off in 30 seconds. That don't even make sense. The longest footage you have of all those body cam, they went off in 30 seconds. I want somebody to try to explain that to me. Yeah, that's gonna be one that hard to explain on that one. And they know it's not gonna be right. They're trying to probably get the National Guard there, whoever, before it comes down to the video being released. And it's not gonna be good. T Cal said, I have no words. I understand why you went outside. I have no words. Yeah, that's a hard one. Um, and while we're talking about things like this, we also turn around and know Texas was trying to um, pass the bill that anyone over 21 could carry a firearm. Well, there's some states that have done it. I think I seen something about 19 of them so far. Um, um, I'm trying to make sure before I go any further. Um, so, uh, so they Tennessee is one of those states that have actually passed the law that would actually go into effect on July the 1st. So they passed the law to open carry. Said it's and actually say it's official. One of 19 states where permitless gun carry will be the law. Governor Bill Lee on Thursday signed the bill allowing most adults to carry a handgun without a permit, an effect that was at the top of the legislation agenda for the year. The law take place July the 1st. Now, how would that look? In the middle of all this racist tension that is going on in the U.S. or across this world, but mainly in the U.S. Um, you're gonna allow people to open carry guns where people have feel like they have the rights to say anything and do anything to a different race other than their self. How would that look? I mentioned last night I seen this video of this white lady charging at this sister. They both were parked on on the yellow line in the apartment complex they lived in, and this white woman, even though she was in the wrong, but she was upset that the sister did the same thing she did. Got so upset that she went to approach the sister, and the sister said, "Hold on now, we're still in the pandemic, COVID, stay away." The woman got upset because she asked her to back up from her. So the woman go up and spit in the sister's face, and the sister reaction was to push her down. So when we have Becky and Steve doing stuff like this, doing stuff like this, um, what happened then? Um, what happened then is Becky and Steve feel like they can go to the places. I've seen videos. They go to places and people ask them to wear their mask in their business. They get upset. Then they call the police and lie about the situation, saying they're under attack. So now when Becky and Steve feel like they under attack, what you think gonna happen? Now Becky and Steve gonna pull out their pea shooter and shoot someone. I feel like it shouldn't happen. That law should not be passed. We already have enough killing already. And by passing that law, we're gonna have way more killing. TCal said, man, I understand spitting is a non-negotiable. I feel you. That would have been an ass whooping. You don't spit in somebody's face or spit on nobody or even spit toward them. That would have been an ass whooping. Um, Robin said, yep, 100%. We're going to hear all about his background. The thing is, nobody is defending people, criminal behaviors. We are saying all people have the right to their day in court. Yes, they all have a right to their day in court. But when it come down to black folks, we normally don't get past the scene. Um, Robin said I had to step away for a second. What law? Well, Tennessee is passing a gun law. And apparently it's 19 other states that is doing it. Tennessee law going into effect on July the 1st. July the 1st, that law goes into state where any adult can carry a handgun without a permit. Yeah, they still gonna do the background on it, on the person before they get the guns. They still gonna check the background. But Can you imagine Becky and Steve? They get upset because they asked to wear a mask in a place. Then they turn around and shoot someone because they was asked to put on a mask. We seen what happened last week when the guy drugged the police officer after he assaulted an employee at the hardware store because the employee asked them to put a mask on. It's these business policy for everyone to wear a mask. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice, or you could go somewhere else and shop. So just imagine if that guy had a gun. He assaulted an employee with a piece of plywood at the hardware store. So just imagine if he had a gun. He probably would have shot that employee. Probably would have shot him. And probably would have felt like he was justified. So yeah, that's 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 I don't understand that. And probably 9 times out of 10, all these states that are permitting these, let me see if I can find out if I can find out all the states. Cause 9 times out of 10, they're probably all Republican states. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna try to find out and see. And then on top of that, you go and I don't have it on here. You go and open carry. Well, guess what? From my understanding, it opened it up where if a police officer's seeing you carry a gun, they can come up, check your ID, check your ID. They can run the serial number on the gun, make sure it's not stolen. But you open yourself up to it. Now, do you think a cop would do that for everybody? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be mostly black folks. They check IDs and check to make sure the gun is not stolen. Robin said, "Oh, speaking that's hell no. All 112 pounds of me is gonna rip your face off if you spot if you spit on me. No, ma'am. Yeah, that's what they do." She also said, "Oh, geez, I'm gonna need a list of those states. I'm not going anywhere. Hell no. That's why I won't go to Florida. Like, what could go wrong?" Shaking my head. T Cal said, exactly. I get people that get pissed when I tell them they need to put a mask to shop at my store. I posted yet. I still have to let those that don't look like me to wear a mask. Um, Robin said, see, that's the thing. In many places, all you have to say is, I was afraid. I was afraid for my safety. You can murder someone. And when it's dealing with black folks, our skin color is already a threat. It's already a threat. But now you add that you have a gun on your side. You add that you have a gun on your side. They really gonna feel threatened. A lot of people don't have the right sense of mind to know how to handle a gun because everybody may feel like they can, but everybody is not smart enough. Um, Now, this new law, it allowed people 21 and older to carry a handgun openly or concealed without a permit, along with members of the military age 18 to 20. The new law does not apply to long gun. Um, Trying to see if they have a list of and then when they passed the law on March 29th, Majority Leader William Lambert, Republican Portland, said it was not the end of the journey for expanding gun rights in Tennessee. Democrats, however, were largely against the measure. It seems that more is never enough when it comes to gun laws in the state, said Representative Larry Miller, Democrat from Memphis. In addition to removing Tennessee misdemeanor offense for most people who carry a handgun without a permit, the bill also increased punishment for certain gun crimes. This is going to be crazy. Uh, that's really going to be crazy. Trying to catch up where I left off at. Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse, perfect example. Illegal to be carrying yet. Cops handed him water and never checked him. That's because he was white. If he was black, they wouldn't have done that. They never would have done that. Welcome to the show, radio. I don't know if this is your first comment, my first time seeing it. He said, we just banned the sales of AR 15s up here in Canada. Um, Robin said, one of my black nephew has a gun and my sister is terrified. Like, yeah, you have a right to have it too. It's legal, but have it on him, make him an even bigger target. Yes, it's it's a double target when it's dealing with black folks. And to carry it on your side for people can see it, no, you're a threat. Your skin color is a threat, but then for you to put it on your side for other people can see it, you become a bigger threat because people are gonna look at you, and God forbid if it's a big guy like myself, that'll be a triple threat. Your skin color is one, your size is a threat, and then you carrying a gun, that's another threat, which is crazy. Um, it's definitely crazy. It, this is not going to end good. And I cannot find the other states that have passed that law. And let me type it like this. Look like South Carolina is one of them. Okay. Um, Look like Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Idaho, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Maine. Hold on. Montana, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, uh, Vermont, West Virginia, Wyoming. Now, Utah goes into effect on May 5th and it's for concealed carry only. Wyoming for open carry and concealed carry for residents only. Concealed carry will be legal for all legal age resident as of July the 1st, 2021. North Dakota resident only and concealed carry only. Tennessee going to effect July the 1st, our July the 1st. The other states do not have, um, they don't have dates by them, so they could very well already be in effect that they're already doing it. So, um, so that's one of those we gotta definitely look at. Clearly, they don't need a reason, and I'm afraid for my husband, nephew, and friends. I feel you. I'm afraid for as a black man. It's clearly something that is going on. I know that's a lot, but these are the states. I don't know if you can see it or not, but um, so these are the states that are allowing it. If if you can't see it, go to the page and the full list is there. Um, I guess it will. I guess it will sell some body armor, but um, uh, so I guess it will. If, I would say buy stock in them because it's crazy. It's gonna be one of those situations where uh, it's gonna be kind of crazy where people. It's gonna be like the Wild Wild West. That's the best way I can describe it. The Wild Wild West, because people gonna feel like they can do anything. Yeah, that's the list of the states, and I actually I end up googling which states that pass a bill to open carry. Was South Carolina on that list? Now that's only 14. It says 19, and I see South Carolina is also one of them. So, and I don't know if they wasn't one of the ones on that list. Let's see. 13, on this map that they're showing, look like it's Montana, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, South Dakota, Missouri, Arizona, Arkansas, Mississippi, Kentucky, West Virginia, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And then the ones is for resident only is Wyoming and North Dakota. So in those other states, anybody can, eh, I would assume anybody could carry, but in North Dakota and Wyoming, that's only for residents. So that's crazy. Why would you want to do it with everything that is going on in this world, that don't make sense. Robin said, "Yep, Wild Wild West. I'm keeping my ass right here in my blue state." Yes, I would definitely try to copy that link. Um, and they have a map that actually shows it. Um, Now I'm not too familiar with this particular place that is putting it up. Um, Let me see if I can find it on another. Um, See if I can find that list on another site, because that one site I'm not too familiar with. But I do see where South Carolina faithfully to oppose permitless and open carry legislation in state house, and that's North Charleston, South Carolina. Um, yeah, that's like I said, it's going to be interesting. Now, just imagine Tennessee is just one state, but it's a total of 19 states that are allowing this to happen, and that's the scary thing. Because at this point, somebody can look at you wrong and feel like you're a threat, and they can shoot you, and their self defense would be, I felt threatened. I felt threatened. Robin said, "This is crazy, crazy." Yep. Radio said getting a gun makes people feel like they have an instant black belt in karate. They like the sense of power and intimidation. Yep. Yeah, they do. It don't make sense. T Cal said, they already do. So just imagine if the law is behind them, it's gonna. It's kind of like, and I'm gonna just throw it out there. In my eyes, it looked like they aligned these bills to pass to take the attention off of the police killing and put the attention on other people, because it's gonna be more killings. It's gonna be a lot more killing. Like I've always said, here in Dallas, every morning you turn on the news, you hearing about people getting shot up, um, all type of crazy story, and it's crazy. Robin said, "Dude can push you, you push them back. They can shoot you and say I was afraid. No murder charge." Exactly. And the only thing you need is one witness. One witness. That's kind of like incident happened here in Dallas last night. Um, I don't. I know a lot of states or a lot of cities are dealing with people doing these burnouts, or whatever the proper term is, spin outs, and in the middle of the road. Well, last night here in Dallas, they was doing one, and a young lady said something to them. The guy went to the car and got a rifle and shot and killed the woman. Shot and killed the woman. So that's just jacked up all the way around. Um, it's a lot to think about. It's People are crazy. Um, Nothing is the GOP desperate, so they throwing up more red meat to the so-called patriot. Yeah, That's all it is to protect them. Now, also Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, it was either Tennessee or Kentucky. I think it was Tennessee during the Breonna Taylor protest last year. One of them signed in the law that it was a felony to protest on government property. So it's kind of like they making it hard on everybody. It's not gonna end good. That's why it's so important that we get out and vote. I keep talking about it. We have 1 day of early voting tomorrow. 1 day from 7 to 7 here in Dallas. And then um, May 1st, that's your last opportunity to vote after tomorrow. So you definitely need to get out and vote. I've told you who I would go for in the city of Grand Prairie. Kirk Johnson, Junior Izunu, and down in Longview. If I was able to vote in Longview, Marissa Ward, I would vote for her because they trying to make a difference in their city. Do your research. The $75 million bond that the city of Grand Prairie is trying to pass. If you read the fine lines, ask questions about it. They're only going to tell you the good thing to get it passed. But one of the biggest things in this bond is the fact that um, you cannot. The city council can choose who actually gets the uh, the bid on it because it's not open bid. Whoever get the contract for the certain jobs, they want to bring a convention a city owned hotel like it is in Dallas. They want to bring that to the city of Grand Prairie, but already just in a probably a 5 mile radius, it's about five hotels that just came up in the last year. They started building last year. And you want to add a huge hotel right there by them. Grand Prairie don't have that much traction going on that would justify that. Somebody will bring conventions there. No, it won't. You got Dallas, you got Arlington. You between the two, and you smaller than both of them. So you got to know what you vote on these bonds, where that money is going. Radio said, "What's the phrase that popular among gun owners? It's better to be judged by 12 or on a jury than carried by six at your funeral." I hear that all the time. You're right. You're right. But unfortunately, when it come down to black folks, you can't even get to the 12 jury. You won't be judged by 12. You will be carried by the six. All because of the color of your skin, and people feel that you are a threat. So yeah, it's not right. It's not fair. That's why we want equal justice across the board. We need to make a difference. People say, well, how can we make a difference? Well, get off your ass and vote every election. First of all, make sure you are registered to vote. Make sure you are registered to vote and get out and vote. I don't care what the election is for. Go vote. Get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. Do your research on these candidates. Make sure they understand we're tired of this. We're going to take you out. As for voting you out, we're going to vote you out. Like in the city of Grand Prairie, the guy that told Kurt Johnson he don't have time to be a city council, but he won't step down. If you don't have time to do it, why are you going to waste the citizen time? You're a business owner. Are you trying to give yourself one of those contracts or make a deal with one of your homeboys on the city council to award you the contract and they get a kickback? I'm asking. Allegedly. I'm asking this. You won't step down. I don't know what type of business you own, but I seen the flyers that said you're a business owner, but you pushing hard to make it possible where y'all could choose who get contracts from the city. What type of business do you own? I'm just asking because it sounds like something ain't right. So definitely pay attention if whatever state you're in, if they have one of these laws going up in your state, let us know. Let us know how you feel about it. I feel it ain't right. I feel it ain't right. It's only going to make it worse because now anybody can feel like anybody is a threat. Only thing they have to do is say, my life was threatened. I feared for my life. But that term would not work for everybody. It won't. That term would not work for everybody. It'll work for white folks, but it won't work for black folks. We will have to jump through hoops to try to clear our name. What would they want to legalize next? Grades? Probably so. I wouldn't be surprised. Robin said it. That term would not work for people of color. Period. I don't think it will either. I really don't think it will. Um, I kind of talked about this yesterday briefly. Um, um, they're still making arrests um, for the terrorist attack that happened on January the 6th. So, uh-oh. I guess this came out last week. Capitol riot prosecutor get first guilty plea 100 days after attack. So I guess this happened a couple of days ago. John Schaefer, 53-year-old, a member of the Oath Keeper malicious group, pled guilty to two charges: obstruction of an official proceeding and entering restricted building with a dangerous weapon. Schaefer, who is also a heavy metal guitarist in the band Iced Earth, had originally faced six charges, including using a chemical irritation designed for grizzly bears on police officer during the clash. He turned himself in to the FBI in Indiana 2 weeks after his arrest. And after a photo of him inside a Capitol wearing a hat reading Oath Keeper Lifetime Member appeared on the front page of the U.S. Newspaper, he is facing 30 years in prison and is suspected to cooperate with investigating. So that's gonna be interesting. Like I said, the first one to speak, get the deal. And then did y'all hear about this guy that I think it was up in New York? He was on a dating app. Um, let me see if I can pull that story up. He was on a dating app and he bragged about um the Capitol Hill ride. And talked about it. And the girl said, "No, we're not a match." And she called the police on him. I thought about that when seen he was a heavy metal guitarist. I said, "Oh Lord." Um, the radio said all the guitarists I know have way more sense than that guy. Well, I guess he'll be playing for Big Bubba at night. Yeah. Robin said, "Oh, geez, I swear to goodness." They came out with news on this all the time. I'm like, please let me know when you arrest everybody in there. It's taking them all this time, and they're up to less than half the amount of people that arrested for break. Hold on. Da, da, da. Lost my spot. Uh, hold on. Because it's so much, I couldn't read it all on the stream. Um, Arrest everybody in there and taking them all this time, and they're up to less than half of the amount of people they arrested for breaking curfew at the BLM protest. Yeah, he said. Robin said, "Brag." He guess, hey, guess how dumb I am. Yeah, he bragged about it to the young lady, and she turned them in. Uh, this happened in Westchester. Robert Chapman, federal prosecutor, said Robert Chapman bragged about storming the Capitol on a dating app. News 12 Westchester reported that his profile photo helped authority track him down on civilian video footage of the ride. So he bragged about it, and the young lady said that, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're not a match." And once she said we're not a match, she reached out to the police, which she should have. She should have. That was a good thing for her. And yeah, they actually have a picture of the text. Um, they said those weren't my question. Those weren't answer to my question. He said I did storm the Capitol. I made it all the way into Sanctuary Hall. Uh, did an interview with Robert O'Mary on the Washington Post. Also did online interview with just somebody. Because the background is yellow. It's hard to see. She said, "We're not a match." He said, "I suppose not." Then I'm sure he got a knock on the door. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's about right. He thought bragging about that would impress this woman. Hmm. Like one of my aunts say all the time, how that work out for you? That didn't work out too good for him. So yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. You want to brag about, and what's crazy is um what's crazy about that is people feel like that's something to be proud of. You attacking America, the greatest country there is. You attacking it, but you bragging about it. Mm. And majority of them probably getting the benefits from the country they attack, but they still gonna want those benefits. I feel like this. Anybody that scoop down that low and attack our governor, try to overturn it, overtake our government, they don't need to receive no benefits from our governor, from our government, which is crazy. Radio said they want to celebrate their stupidity. Exactly. That's all it is. It's just stupidness. Why would you want to celebrate that? Just to say you did it. Now that you have the attention that you was theming for all this time, you have this attention now. You don't want the attention. You want to know why is everybody coming down on me? Why is everybody coming down on me? Well, you the fool that attacked our great country. To you, it feel like you attacked Capitol Hill, but you're attacking our country. Um, yeah, I know it's past my time, but I'm gonna make up the time we was late. I have to. But definitely, that's crazy. They all bragged about it. Got on social media, want to talk about it. He get on a dating app, feel like he can talk to this young lady about it, and hopefully she felt okay about it. Uh, Felt like she was okay with what he done, but she did the right thing. The young lady did right by turning him in. Matter of fact, I don't know if it's award money out there, reward money, but if it is, I think she need to collect that check. Um, because at this point, the guy's stupid. He's off his rocker. He must been off his medication that day. Um, because for him to go and say that, that's pretty crazy. Um, Radio said, "Well, if you follow a clown, then chances are they're pretty good. You will act like a clown." Oops, upset. And Radio, I haven't forgot about it, but I'm going to have him posted somewhere behind me. Um, I'm still trying to work out how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna have him posted up behind me where I could just tap that head and make it bounce. You know what would be funny if every time you do the bobblehead, the phone would light up and the fingers move. Uh, that would really be funny. Um, Robin said, haha, she got that reward money and she took herself out to dinner. Exactly. Hey, I hope I'm thinking it may be a reward to turn people in. And if it is, hopefully she did take herself out for a nice steak and surf and turf. Um, yeah, hopefully she did. because that's crazy. He want to brag about it to somebody he don't even know. That tells you a lot about him. And the way those sideburns look like Wolverine, Wolverine, whatever the character is. Uh, that's how he look. Um, and so it's yeah, he looked pretty cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. But so that's gonna be the show tonight. We thank y'all for tuning in. We did get majority of our time back, except for a couple of minutes. I can stretch it out, but no matter where you are, tomorrow is the last day for early voting. Please, I don't care where you are, get out and vote. Go vote. If election is going on during this time in your city, go vote. Um, see, I cannot read everything you put up radio. He would have been better off just writing a song about it and put it on the radio and say, "Come get me." Uh, title of the song, "Come Get Me." Listen to the words, "Come Get Me." That would have been a number one hit. Probably would have won a Grammy from it. But yes, no matter where you are, please go vote. Go vote. Let your voice be heard. And if you're not registered to vote, get registered now. Because November is approaching real fast. You don't need to wait until November to time I need to get registered to vote. Get registered now. If you are a felon, you have paid all your dues. You have done everything you're supposed to do. You're off papers. Go to vote.org and check with your state to see if you're eligible to get your voting rights back. Most of them, if you have paid your dues and you're off paper, they will give them back to you. That's all you have to do. Register to vote and vote. Let your voice be heard. I know here in Texas, we have a major race coming up in November. Greg Abbott is up for re-election. It's time to cancel his contract and send him home. Lieutenant Dan Patrick. First of all, Greg Abbott followed everything Trump said. Dan Patrick wanted to put up $1 million of his campaign money for anybody who proven voter fraud, which we know the only ones that it was proven was somebody who voted for Trump more than once or tried to. Then we already know about the alleged Ken, the gangster Paxton, who have um, who actually have two charges pending against him. One for fraud. The other one is for abusing power when he changed the when he made the executive order last year to stop foreclosure. It wasn't for the people of Texas, it was to help his homeboy out. Then, after the election last November, he didn't care about your votes. So, what he decided to do, him and what was it, 17, 19 other states, probably the same ones that have that align people to open carry, long as they 21 years old. Probably these same states that are doing this. I don't know for sure, but they all got in line and signed this lawsuit trying to overturn the election. Basically, they said your vote don't count. That's why they doing this voter suppression, trying to make it harder for people to get out and vote. So yes, we need to make sure November we need to pack the polls and get them out of office. Not only that, Board of Education is up for re-election. So we definitely need to pack that because here it is. Greg Abbott had an issue when a when a school teacher compared the police today to the Klans back in the old days. Tell me where's the line? Because it's similar. Police Klansmen were killing black folks. Now the police are killing the white police are killing black folks. Are the ones that think they're white are killing unarmed black folks. So tell me where the lie is. But he don't want to talk about the real history of America. So with the real history of America, I think it would change a lot of things if people knew the truth. Because sometimes they're not going to be taught in a household. I'm gonna just call it like I see it. But we can change that. Get out and vote. Get registered to vote. Make sure you get out and vote. Yes, I've talked about three different candidates on the show, and no, they not paying me anything. I believe in what they're talking about. I believe they can make a difference in the cities that they are representing. That's why I talk about them. And not only that, I believe Fort Worth is having a mayor race, and it's gonna be strange because Fort Worth they ain't all that good on black folks. So we need to make a difference. Need to vote somebody in there that's gonna be for everybody, everyone in that city, not just part of them. So we need to make sure we're showing up at the polls. Early voting stop tomorrow, 7 p.m. It's open from 7 to 7. After tomorrow, the only time you had to vote is May 1st. So definitely get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. And Radio said, have you heard Ted Cruz' new nickname? I haven't heard it. Go ahead, let us know what it is, but we can end on a laugh because I know it got to be something crazy. Um, he been trying to stay on the low since he came back from Mexico. So so definitely let us know what it is. We got a couple of minutes, only about 2 minutes, and then we're gonna roll up out of here. So and Radio, if you're still on there, definitely let us know that nickname because I'm curious about it. I could leave out on a good note and laugh real good before I leave. See, that's why I can't with you. That Wolverine from the Adventure superhero character. Someone on Twitter gave it to him. Boy, yeah. Um, see, that's why I say Radio never fails. He always gonna cause me to laugh. I'm telling y'all, when the messages come up, I don't even look at them. Especially if I see it from radio, I don't even look because I could be talking about something serious. Then all of a sudden, I get a glance of what he just put up. And once he put it up, I'm like, Lord have mercy. It'd be like, nah, it's no way I can finish talking about what I'm talking about until I have to finish what I'm saying beforehand. So I appreciate you, Radio. I needed that laugh, Robin, Micah, T Cal, whoever else came on. If you didn't put anything in the chat room, I didn't see your name, but I do appreciate y'all for coming on and always supporting the show. Um, Regardless of what platform you're on, please tell a friend, like, share. Um, let a friend know we are live and you can live chat with us during the chat room. So until tomorrow night, if the good Lord say the same, we will uh we will be back tomorrow night if the good Lord say the same, 8 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully my computer is not trying to update tomorrow. So other than that, I love each and every one of you until then. Peace.